I thought I had this movie figured out. I really did. But by the third act, the other had completely flipped the script. And honestly, I had a blast with it.
Robin?
Let's stop pretending that we're a family.
I love you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about The Other, a new supernatural horror film that just dropped on VOD. It's directed by Paul Etheredge and stars Olivia Macklin, Dylan McTee, Evangeline Friedlander, Lily D. Moore, and Shawnee Smith. I went in totally blind aside from the short synopsis on Amazon Prime, and that ended up being the best way to experience it. This one's violent, weird, and full of surprises. Let's dive in. Before we jump into the plot, if you enjoy these reviews and want to support the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe. And if you want to go a step further, check out my Patreon. You can support the channel for just $1 a month or pledge $5 a month to request a movie for me to review. It really helps me keep this thing going. Links in the description. After struggling for years with infertility, married couple Robin and Daniel open their home to Cathelia, a quiet, withdrawn orphan with a traumatic past. Hoping to finally build the family they've always wanted, they do their best to adjust to their new lives together. But as Cathelia's behavior grows increasingly disturbing, strange occurrences begin to plague their home. What starts as subtle unease soon spirals into something far more sinister, as Robin and Daniel begin to suspect that a dark, malevolent force has latched onto their new daughter, and it may already be too late to stop it. So here's the thing. I was expecting a slow, maybe slightly creepy haunted kid movie, and The Other does start off that way. But once it hits a certain turning point, it takes the gloves off. This movie gets violent, like way more than I expected. It takes its time getting there, sure, but when it goes off, it really goes off. There's some solid body horror, some gnarly kills, and despite the film clearly working with a limited budget, the practical effects still look pretty damn good. I found myself genuinely shocked by how far it was willing to go. Now this might just be me being twisted, but I found a lot of this movie really funny in a messed up way. There's this undercurrent of dark black comedy that ramps up as things spiral out of control. It doesn't turn into a straight up horror comedy or anything, but the tonal shift is there if you're paying attention. I was laughing more than I expected, and not in a bad way. It felt like the movie knew exactly how ridiculous things were getting and just leaned into it. As far as performances go, I think the cast does a solid job, especially Dylan McTee. Without spoiling anything, he ends up being kind of the emotional core of the story by the end. I thought he handled that shift well. There are a few moments here and there where the acting dips or the dialogue feels a bit stiff, but it was never enough to pull me out of the story. For a movie like this, that's a win. And I have to talk about the twist, because The Other goes somewhere that genuinely caught me off guard. I thought I had it pegged as a generic supernatural setup, but then the third act hits and it pulls the rug out from under you. It's not quite on the same level as something like Barbarian, which is still one of my favorite twists of the past decade, but it gave similar vibes in how it completely shifts the direction of the story in a way that makes everything that came before more interesting. I love when a movie can surprise me like that. Now to be fair though, this movie does take a while to really get going. The first 30 to 40 minutes play it very straight. It feels like a typical supernatural drama. Creepy kid, weird noises, ominous dreams. It's not bad, but it definitely doesn't stand out right away. If you're the kind of viewer who checks out early when a horror movie feels predictable, you might miss out on the good stuff later on. That said, in hindsight, the slow burn does serve a purpose. It sets up the payoff in a way that's way more effective than if it had just gone wild from the start. Still, it's worth noting, you have to be patient with this one. All in all, The Other was a really pleasant surprise. It's rough around the edges and clearly working within its means, but it makes smart choices with what it has. The violence goes hard, the third act twist is a winner, and the weird blend of dread and dark humor gave it a unique vibe that I really dug. If you're into offbeat horror films that take some big swings and don't mind a bit of a slow start, I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm giving The Other a solid 4 out of 5. Hidden gem status achieved. If you've seen The Other, drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if that third act twist caught you off guard like it did me. And if you enjoyed this review, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and consider checking out my Patreon. Just $1 a month helps support the channel, and for $5 a month you can request a review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.